going forward. Yeah, you'll see the title of this video is around visualizations and which ones you want to see. Now, a big thing, the work I do is all with professional football players. That's my one-to-one work. So I work mainly with Premier League and Championship players. I also work with players across Europe, mainly English players that are playing abroad, certainly in the Champions League. And there's two sides to what I do, two big sides to what I do. The first one is helping them to get an understanding of their brain from a performance perspective. So, what I call it, there's the red brain, the green brain, and the blue performance state. The red brain is that part of the brain we never want in control. We don't want that red brain in control on or off the pitch. That's that fight or flight part of our brain. It's the amygdala. That's what people would know it as if you knew a little bit about the brain. But that red brain is terrible for performance. And it also makes us feel terrible in life itself. So it's all around understanding that this red brain, then the green brain, which is the left prefrontal cortex, is the most advanced part of the human brain. We want that in control off the pitch. Actually, we want it in control on the pitch as well, but I'll come on to that in just a moment. But we want it in control off the pitch. And this is really important, because this is you when you're confident. This is you when you're feeling good. This is you when you're able to tackle problems really well. This is you. This is you cool, calm, and confident. Now we have the blue performance state. So when we go onto the pitch, we don't want the red brain. The red brain will have you overthinking. The red brain makes you feel anxious, bad, dwelling on all the things that can go wrong. So we don't want that. Equally, we don't just want the green brain in control, because the green brain, as I said, is cool, calm, collected, confident, yes, but it's these things that are a bit too relaxed for game day. So what we want, just like I said, the red brain is bad. If the blue performance state is when that red brain goes up, but the green brain is still in control. And this is the ultimate that I'm looking for my players to get into. This is the zone, the blue performance state that I'm trying to get my players to operate in. So think about the red brain when it goes up. If it's in control, anxiety, terrible. Anger, terrible. Frustration, terrible. But what actually happens is when the red brain goes up, but the green brain remains in control, now what you've got is this blue performance state. So anger, we're actually in control of anger now. So we're not angry and out of control. Anger now becomes positive aggression, positive intensity. Anxiety, now we're taking control of the anxiety. So that anxiety now becomes focus, switched on, awareness, zoned in, high energy, all these kind of things. Now, on top of that, frustration becomes drive and determination. So, like I said, off the pitch, we just don't want this red brain. We want to be cool, relaxed in the green brain. On the pitch, we want some red brain activation. Anyone who feels anxious or nervous going into a game, great, I say. We've just got to channel it the right way. Make sure that green brain is in control. That is the really important thing that I work on with the first thing. So we've got to have, like I said, the first side of things is that side of things. Get an understanding of your brain from that performance point of view. Keep that red brain away off the pitch. Keep that green brain in control on the pitch. And then when you're getting ready for the game, getting ready to for match day, this is where you want to go blue performance state. And we'll go on a lot more of this in the channel as we go forward. But now also on top of this, the second side of things is visualization. And that visualization can take the form of many things. Now, I'm not one that subscribes to visualization to be, let's visualize winning. Let's visualize success. I'm sure there are great reasons to do, well, there are good reasons to do that. It's a nice, it gives you a little bit of, what's the word? It's almost like objective setting. You're telling your brain, this is what I want, and you're moving towards that. But the big thing around visualization, this is why it's so important for the players that I work with. The big thing around visualization is that we can practice the things that we do physically with visualization. If you think a lot of the players that I work with are playing Saturday, Tuesday, they might have a game in the Premier League on Saturday, Champions League on Tuesday, and you know, there's just not a lot of time to do a lot of extra training and a lot of extra loads. So visualization is an incredibly important tool because we can increase the work that we're doing, we can increase the development that we're doing without the increased load. So that's like, I don't know if you're not a professional footballer or if you're not aware of the term increase in load, it's really, you know, that physical output that players are doing. So, you know, it's not like, right, okay, so we want to improve our, say just our shooting, you know, maybe it's, or let's say what we want to improve upon is receiving the ball and driving at the defense. Now, there's two things here. Physically, these two things are very difficult to do. Firstly, because the increased load. So you can't just think, right, I've done my training. Now I'm going to spend 30 or 40 minutes receiving the ball and practicing receiving the ball and driving at the defense because the load gets too heavy. The second thing around this as well is that who are you working with? Who are you working against there? Because ideally, the best thing you could be doing here is, let's imagine you're an Arsenal player and you've got Chelsea at the weekend. The best thing you can be doing if you're going to practice receiving the ball and driving at the defence is you receive the ball from an Arsenal player, which you can actually obviously do within training if you're working with somebody, but now you're driving against the Chelsea defenders. And you can't do that in training, but you can do that with your visualizations. And this is why it is an incredibly important tool that we can use, because what we know about visualization from a brain perspective is that when we visualize doing physical things, we actually start strengthening the neural pathways in our brains in a very similar way to physically doing it. And that is why like I said, I do this with my players, but on the channel, there is going to be a lot more emphasis going forward in different visualizations. So there can be visualizations around different mental things that you want to improve upon. Maybe it's more confidence, bouncing back from a mistake, stopping yourself from overthinking, but it can actually be physical things. So maybe link up play improvements. I got a sleepiness emoji from somebody. I'm sorry if I'm boring you, but this is the work that I do with the players that that I work with on a one-to-one basis, and this is what it takes to go to the next level, to take it to the next level. Because, as I said, physically you cannot be training every single day, but you can be utilizing visualization. You can be strengthening those neural pathways in this way without increasing that load. I've had someone there say how to enter the flow state faster. Okay, so here's another key thing where visualization comes in really well. Now, you'll see on my channel, I've got there's a video there about entering the flow state and the things that you need to do. Now, the most important thing, sorry, somebody I thought it was going to my office. The most important thing that we need to think about in terms of the videos that are on my channel and the videos that you'll get anywhere, or reading a book, or knowing how to do things from other people's videos, is that this is knowledge. It gives you that understanding of what to do. Now, that's great. You know, I can watch a video on anything. I can watch a video on how to service a vehicle, but it just doesn't mean now that I can do it. To do something, you need to be consistently practicing these things over and over again, conditioning these neural pathways, as I've just spoken around. So if you think about entering that flow state, watch that video. Now, conditioning that flow state is around watching that video, understanding how to get into that flow state. So developing the confidence, developing that challenge mindset, and then allowing yourself to be present, focused in the moment. But then you'll know how to do that, but it doesn't mean that that's exactly what's going to happen. When you know those triggers, now you visualize, now you get yourself into that situation where you visualize doing those things to get yourself into that flow state. And the way that you do this is, we don't go into, I'm going to just lie down in my bed and visualize, or I'm going to just, you know, I'm on I'm just going to take this as a relaxing session. Do what I do with the players that I work with, and those visualizations are highly structured, highly focused, and you take them serious. So what I mean by this, and I wonder if I can just put my phone down there whilst I'm on it. This is just going to fall over, isn't it? But bear with me 1 second. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. So what I mean by this now is you don't want to be lying down with your visualizations. It is literally, you're going to be sitting upright in the moment, not not relaxed, or you're zoned in, you're focused and you're immersed and you're taking it serious. So even beforehand, maybe if you're thinking about, right, okay, what do I want to develop in my game? I want to develop my range of passing. Maybe you're a midfielder, you want to develop your range of passing. So what you think now to yourself is, right, who's really good with their range of passing that I would like to emulate with my game? Maybe it's Kevin De Bruyne. Okay, so maybe we don't want to fall into this trap too much, but maybe I look on YouTube at some Kevin De Bruyne clips. Make sure you don't go down that wormhole of watching a Kevin De Bruyne clip for 1 minute and then you're off down the rabbit hole of 10 minutes on YouTube. Focus in. A minute maybe of watching some Kevin De Bruyne clips, starting to understand how he plays his game. Now, press pause. Imagine being Kevin De Bruyne, or imagine taking on that role of how he plays, and imagine you doing that array of passing. Maybe it's short passing, maybe it's some long balls, maybe you're mixing it up, and the movement that you're doing within the game. Imagine this, visualize it, see yourself doing this within the game. And what you're doing now is you're developing those neural pathways in your head. And the more you do this, the more you make it more instinctive and automatic on match day. What I find is when I'm working with my players, we'll be working on something and then it will happen in the game. So for example, I've been working with a player. We were focusing on his link-up play with a certain player. So he is a number 8 and he was focusing on his link-up play with the number 10. So he was looking at, right, how does he play? And imagine myself playing around him. What he's doing now is he's developing this within his brain. He's developing that understanding of the specific number 10, how he moves, how he operates, and then how he is going to utilize his game around this number 10. What is he going to do? How is he going to play? How is he, when this player does this, what is he going to do? Is he going to pass? Is he going to make that run into space? If he does this, what does he then do? All these things that he's thinking around this player. And Tuesday night, last Tuesday, was his last game, and they lost 2-1, unfortunately, but he assisted for this player. You know, we talked about it afterwards, and he was saying that, you know, this is pretty much the goal, the assist was something that he had visualized during the sessions that we had done. And players talking about it all the time. I mean, Mo Salah, there's an interview with him where he talks about this. He said, you know, every goal that he scored, he's visualized it already. And there's nothing fluffy around this. You know, we think about, oh, you know, some people think about, you got things like the law of attraction. You've got, you know, tapping into the universe and things. I don't subscribe to any of that. The way that I understand visualization is all around how this brain works. So the fact is, if you're visualizing goal after goal and your movement off the ball, how you're going to interact with certain players, and pretty much on game day, you score a carbon copy version of that goal, for me, there's nothing mystical or wonderful about that. What you've done, if you conditioned yourself to look for those potential opportunities, to see this happening, and in the execution of that shot, you've practiced this, so your brain knows what to do around it. It is such an underrated thing, tool that you can be utilizing. Right, so you can see some comments here. Hello from India. Hello from Plymouth in the UK. That's where I am at this moment. I do all my work, by the way, on Zoom calls, so you know I can be working with players all over the country. You know, from my office here in Plymouth. College footy player here. I just want to say that thank you for your YouTube channel. It's really helped me. Thank you for all you do. I think Sebas Rojas. Mate, thank you. I really, really do appreciate that. My channel is obviously very much in its infancy, so when I hear comments like that, thank you. I really, really do appreciate that, and it makes me just want to create more. Do let me know in the comments section of my videos as well, because I do read all of the comments, and I try and reply to them. But if there's anything that you want help with, anything within your game, let me know, and I'll start to try and utilize that. But as I said, knowledge. This is great. The videos on here will be the knowledge, but I'll be adding more visualizations so we can have the knowledge, but then we can start conditioning that knowledge as well, so it becomes a part of how you operate. You don't just know how to play like Kevin De Bruyne, you play like Kevin De Bruyne. And that is where the knowledge combined with the visualizations, obviously then as well, you're practicing this within your training and everything you're doing physically, but that visualization just allows you to really increase the amount of training that you're doing. And I know I banged on a lot now about visualization, but I will, because it is so, so important. Right, okay, well, I'm going to end this now anyway, but I will be on again soon to answer lots of questions. But thank you for your support. Please do add a like and subscribe to the channel. It really, really does assist. Yes, we'll speak soon.